You begin to hear whispers and the pressure begin to find a new way out. The thoughts of giving up and not wanting to face tomorrow, not wanting to deal with the hurts and the pains and the struggles. You hear it and you see it on social media and you hear it on the news. Thoughts of giving up, why not? And I begin to entertain the thoughts of maybe at the end of the day, what's the big deal? Others are doing it. Maybe this is my way to escape. Maybe this is my way out of here. I don't want to be here. It's not the fact that I don't necessarily want her to die. It's the fact that I just don't want to deal. I don't want to deal with tomorrow. I don't want to deal with the adversity. I don't want to deal with the struggle. And I know this can get a little intense in a moment, but listen to me. How many of you in here, do you know a friend? Do you know a classmate? Hear me, not you, but you know somebody even this school year or even right before school, somebody that you know directly who has talked about, who has entertained the idea of. You know somebody who has talked about or entertained the idea of maybe just giving up on life. Raise your hand and hold them high for me. Now listen, don't you laugh. Every hand that's held right now, it represents someone's heartbeat. And I know for some of you in here, that heartbeat, you're in here. Hear me. Not today. Don't you believe the lie. And I know for many of you, the whispers, it's not the fact that you don't want to be here. Sometimes it's just the reality that you have to face the challenges at home, the challenges of a trauma, the challenges of an abuse or something. And I get it, man, it's difficult and it's challenging. And I'm not going to minimize your story because I know for some of us that thing is raw and it's real. But I've realized, man, that the more I isolated and I wouldn't let anybody in, it didn't actually get to the root. You see, the truth is all of you in here, my amazing young world changers, that what makes you and I different from anything else on this planet is the fact inside of your DNA is this thing of your ability to figure things out. We as humanity are resilient and we have something. If we will face our problem and our struggle, we will process and we will figure it out. The challenge is a lot of us, we're afraid to face that fear because it's uncomfortable, or we're ashamed, or we're embarrassed. How many of you in here, if you're honest with me, do you struggle with trusting people? Raise your hand. Yeah, you want to know why? Me too. And here's why. Because a lot of us, our trust in the past was probably deeply broken, or somebody close to us that we trust deeply hurted us. And so what we did, we decided in our brain from this point forward, I'm not letting anybody in. And if I actually maybe would let you in, you're gonna be somebody who has never hurt me, who's never gonna wound me, you're never gonna let me down, you're never gonna break my trust. That's the person eventually I'm gonna let live life with me. The problem is when you make that your standard to opening up your heart and your mind, to letting others surround you so you can live life together, because none of you are an island, we need each other, we don't see our blind spots. Is that you're gonna be really lonely, y'all, just being honest. Because we as people, every single person in your life at one point is going to disappoint you. Is probably going to have a lack of self-awareness and say something that really hurts or wounds you. And I realized that how I was deciding to trust people because of my past trauma, again, I want to belong, but because of my wound, I now protect. I put on the social, the emotional, the fake face. And even though when I'm by myself and I look in the mirror, I'm crying and I'm screaming, but I'm quiet and I'm silent and I'm smiling. A lot of us have decided that's how we're gonna trust. Eventually, the person who's never gonna hurt me. That's not how we decide to trust, y'all. I had to learn the hard way, I know. I realized that those people in your circle, in your space, that even though sometimes they may hurt you or disappoint you or say something that really causes an emotion of uncomfortability at times, but there are certain people, those people that you know they are for you. They want to see you win in life. They literally want to see you thrive. They want you to absolutely make it and overcome. Those people, even though some of them have hurt you and said something or broken your trust, listen to me. Those are the people that even though they make a mistake, that doesn't disqualify them for the fact that they are for you. And you can let them in your life. See, for me, I didn't understand that. And let's be real. Also, real friends, for all of you that just raised your hand, that said you know somebody who has talked about or entertained the idea of. See, real friends don't let real friends just stay hurting. It's okay to not be okay, but if you ask me in my circle, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to struggle, and it's okay that there's an emotion or a hurt and a pain, but the truth is it's not okay just for me to allow you to remain to stay that way. And it may take a time, and it may take a process, but I'm gonna go to that friend, and I'm gonna say the hard thing, and I'm gonna encourage them, and I'm gonna let them know that it's okay to not be okay. And you know what? My hope is that I can encourage them, to stand next to them, to inspire them to go get help, whatever their storm is. But for some of them, they won't find the courage. So sometimes you gotta stand next to them. I don't care how mad or angry it may get at you. You're not their best friend because you're there just to cover. You're not their best friend because you're just there to support whatever they're wanting to do, no matter how destructive. You're their best friend because you believe in them and you want to see them win. So if you got to speak up and speak out, no matter how mad they get at you, I don't give a rip. I promise you, years down the road, they're going to look at you and probably say thank you. Real friends speak up and speak out. And that's facts, y'all.